Get ready, because we're talking about the 1975 D. Jefferson nickel, a coin that might seem boring at first glance, but some rare versions are worth massive money. And yes, some of these coins have sold for so much, they could easily buy a car, pay off debt, or even put a down payment on a house. So, stay with me until the very end of this video. I'm going to show you how this everyday 5-cent coin could turn into a life-changing treasure, and how to tell if the one you're holding is one of the rarest nickels in U.S. history. Now, let's get into it. The Jefferson nickel has been around since 1938. It was created to honor President Thomas Jefferson, with his portrait on the front and his famous home, Monticello, on the back. The coin is made mostly of copper and nickel and has been produced for decades. But not all nickels are the same. Some years, something strange happens. And in 1975, at the Denver Mint, that's what the D stands for, some very rare and valuable versions of the Jefferson nickel were made by mistake. Even though millions of 1975 D nickels were made, just a tiny number of them have special features or minting errors that make them extremely valuable to collectors. Some of these coins are so rare that they have sold for $5,000, $15,000, even $35,000 or more. And experts believe that a perfect condition example, especially one with a full strike and rare error, could one day sell for over $100,000. Yes, one nickel, 6 figures. So what makes the 1975 D nickel so special? It all comes down to rare minting mistakes, also called error coins, and the coin's overall condition. First, let's talk about one of the most important things that can make a Jefferson nickel valuable. It's called the full steps designation. On the back of the coin, under Monticello, you'll see a set of steps. On most coins, these steps look soft, worn, or blurry, even when the coin is new. But if the coin was struck very clearly and the steps are sharp and well-defined, showing 5 or 6 full steps with no breaks, then that coin is considered full steps, and collectors love that. Full steps coins from 1975 are already hard to find. But a 1975 D. Jefferson nickel with full steps in mint condition? That's extremely rare. One of these coins in top-grade condition has sold for more than $10,000, and prices keep climbing as collectors try to find the best examples. Now, let's talk about errors, and this is where things get really exciting. One rare type of error is called a double die. This happens when the coin gets stamped more than once, but not in the exact same spot. If you look at the date, the word Liberty, or In God We Trust, and you see any doubling of the letters or numbers, you might be looking at a valuable double die error. These can sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars, especially in high grade. Another type of rare error is called an off-center strike. That's when the design is not centered properly, and part of the coin looks blank or stretched. If your 1975 D nickel is off-center and the full date is still visible, it could sell for $500 to over $2,000, depending on how off-center it is. Then there's the most exciting error of all, the wrong planchet error. A planchet is the blank piece of metal used to make a coin. Sometimes, by mistake, the mint strikes a coin on the wrong type of planchet. For example, if a 1975 D nickel was struck on a dime planchet or even a foreign coin planchet, it can be worth a fortune. These errors are extremely rare, and examples like this have sold for $10,000 to $30,000, and some rare ones even more. There's also the clipped planchet error, where a small piece of the coin looks like it's been cut off or bitten. These coins can sell for a few hundred to a few $1,000s, depending on how dramatic the clip is and how clear the rest of the coin looks. Let's not forget about strike-through errors, where something like grease, a piece of wire, or even fabric gets in the way when the coin is being struck. That causes weird dents or marks on the coin that collectors love. Depending on how strange and unique the strike-through looks, it can bring in serious money, sometimes over $1,000. Now let's talk about some real-life examples. There are Jefferson nickels from the 1960s that have sold for eye-popping prices. One nickel from 1964, struck on a silver planchet, sold for more than $30,000. Another Jefferson nickel from the 1950s with full steps and in perfect condition went for over $35,000. So even if your nickel isn't from 1965, it could still be very valuable. That's why it's always worth checking every old coin you find. And here's the exciting part, most of these rare coins were found by regular people. Not coin experts. Not dealers. Just normal folks going through their change or cleaning out an old jar of coins. That means it could happen to you. Maybe it already has, and you just don't know it yet. You don't need to spend money to find valuable coins. You just need to pay attention. Look at every nickel you come across. Take a minute to study it. Hold on to it if something looks off. You never know, one of those coins could change your life. If you want to get serious about coin hunting, start collecting nickels from your change and set them aside by year. Get a small scale to weigh them. Use a magnifier to check for tiny details. Join coin groups online and share photos to get help from others. And if you ever find a coin that seems special, consider getting it graded. That little step could turn a 5-cent piece into something worth thousands. So now you know why the 1965 Jefferson nickel is not just a regular coin. It could be a hidden treasure. Maybe the one sitting in your wallet right now is worth a fortune. These nickels are out there. They're real. And they're still being found today. Keep your eyes open, check your coins, and never assume that an old nickel isn't worth anything. Because as we've seen, that one small coin could be worth $50,000, $75,000, or even over $100,000, just for being made a little differently.